the plan for the rounds is to utilize all of the nice things that I've just showed against everybody to show the effectiveness of them. I think that will serve as a good lesson. Dad's away, I've got to take care of the kids. Taking care of the kids today means teaching butterfly half. Happy? Satisfied? Yeah, good. Well, if you watch this video, you will be too. Oh, look at me, I bought a tripod. All right, so let's say you get a little bit more of a stalling opponent, and as soon as you go to get into this position, so you've done a good job, you've got all your inside frames, you try and get to the overhook, but they just sit bolt upright like this. You've got a butterfly hook in, but you're not really sure as to what to do. We've got a couple of good options here that we'll run through, and hopefully you have success with at least one of them. Some people that get to this position are really difficult to deal with, but when we remain sticky and constantly using upper body and lower body attacks, we usually find some sort of opening for a weakness. So if Nas is just trying to push away from me and not allowing me to engage with anything, he leaves his wrist down on the floor. An obvious reaction is we can start to pull that towards us using a thumbless grip, and then I can start to enact the exact same drag, but on the opposite side in terms of a far side arm drag. What we looked at was already a near side drag based off the limp out. When we use a far side drag, we want to start to free our hips as much as possible. We're going to do the exact same move as we did with the overhook sumigashi. We're going to start to forward shift and sit up. When I do this, I'm going to take my right leg out. I'm going to place it out as like a digging my heel in the mat, and then I'm going to start to push his wrist on the inside of the line of his elbow as I start to drag him across my left shoulder. We're going to end up in the exact same position as on the other side when we're performing the near side drag, and then we're going to start to do the same motion of dragging our chest over the back of his shoulder, scissoring his leg. Once he settles down for a moment, we're going to take our toes in the mat and then pull him into a high ball ride or into hooks. If we get to this position and he just wants no bar of any of that and he takes his upper body completely away, I feel as though if I come up to an elbow prop, he's probably going to take advantage of that by looking at body locks or something that's going to regress the position. I make sure that I remember that I can still attack the legs at this position. So if he takes the upper body away, we can start to take action on the legs. So what I'm going to do is take a nice deep overwrap all the way across the back of the leg here and get my thumb almost to the line of where we were doing it with the overhook sumigashi. You're not going to be able to achieve that, obviously, but I'm going to try and get a really nice deep connection here. I'm going to leave my left arm available to cross frame, but my knee should be doing majority of that job. If Nasser tries to come in and smash me here, it's not going to be that easy. I keep my knee pointed towards his bottom hip, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my overwrap. I'm going to use my left leg to start to kick him out and away. Once I do this, Nasser has a couple of options. He can fight to get back to top position, where he's going to bring his knee close towards me, or he can just accept the sweep. If he accepts the sweep here, I immediately start to come up and put my left knee over his hip. If I put my left knee on the inside, I'm actually inadvertently giving Nasser the position that we just got from the arm drag. If you look at it correctly, if I just prop up to an elbow here, he gets his chest across the back of my shoulder. We're actually giving him a back take, which we obviously don't want to do. So I keep my left knee stapling his quad over his quad here, and then he can't come up. So I've got a couple of options from here based on what he does. If he does nothing, he just accepts the sweep. It's pretty easy for me to take a deep overwrap. I start to posture up, I can face him, and now we've won top position. If he fights really hard to come up into me and he points his right knee towards my tailbone when he does so, I'm going to back step over that leg and then start to claim. Once I'm in this position, I don't lock a triangle with my feet just yet. I take the deep overwrap that I've got and put it to the inside of his legs, and then I start to posture up, bringing my knee to the other side, going foot to foot, and now we're in double trouble. So now this is a really powerful leg locking position that we've got into from bottom position in a butterfly half. So we get a butterfly half hook in, and we're trying to get to the upper body, but he's being a little bit coy. Let's say we can get to this wrist for the first sequence. We're going to start to take a thumbless grip over this wrist. We're going to reach up into the back of the armpit, pulling him nice and tight towards us. I'm going to free my hips by forward shifting and getting into a proper seated posture. And then I'm going to take my foot out, stirrup into the floor, drag him through to the other side, take a tight waist, and then I'm going to wedge over this leg here, pulling him back into the exact same position as we had from the near side drag. Let's say we've done this to him a couple of times. He knows what's up. I take a wrist grip, he just strips. He's trying to be very passive here. He's trying to run away from me. And make sure that I come up off my elbow, but keeping my frames inside so I can stop body lock potentials from him. And I take my elbow all the way as a deep overwrap. Once I'm in this position, I start to kick my leg to the bottom hip and I send him over. When I send him over, I've got a cross lat grip and I make sure the importance of the detail of putting my left knee up and over his quad. If I don't put it over his quad, I risk giving up a back take. If he does nothing from here, I make sure that my right knee's on the inside, I pull his leg up and I wrestle up into top position. If he violently tries to drive towards me to save top position, I back step with my right leg, I start to bring my overwrap on the other side of his knee, I push up, I bring my right knee out from underneath, and I go foot to foot, and now we're in double trouble. Let's give that a go. So the lesson's finished. I'm over here fucking with a belt instead of watching people do it incorrectly. The plan for the rounds is to utilize all of the nice things that I've just showed against everybody to show the effectiveness of them. I think that will serve as a good lesson. Put it into their minds that the techniques work, only if you're a 120 kilo steroid cheat. You know, fun fact, fun bit of HPU trivia. I don't actually own a purple belt. I never got given one. I got given the communal one and then was forced to give it back.
That's basically ceremonial belt.
Well, they are anyway, are they not?
Especially for what we do.
I don't fucking wear them.
Yeah.
I wear my black belt at home. Just put it on at the desk. Yeah. I did this. I beat Kit Dale for time. That was my only goal. Yeah, smashed him.
Oh, he did?
He got his in 4 years.
You were under 4?
Yep.
It actually is. Yeah. You had to know it was coming, bro.
I knew.
And you just couldn't do anything without it. See, Purges only passes a body lock. So you just put your back on the mat. Can't body lock you.
We're spoiled.
He's right. My only plan of attack completely thwarted. Move of the day.